Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Great. I would like to welcome you all to 426th chapter meeting of Toastmasters Club of Pune Northwest. I am Toastmaster Nilesh Bhalchim, Sergeant at Arms of our today's meeting. By profession, I am pricing manager, and I like reading books and listening to music. Now, I would like to call upon mission of the club. We provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting into greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let me explain some basic rules of this meeting. Rule number 1, please turn off your cell phone or set them on silent mode if you're not using it to join the call. Number 2, please mute your microphone unless instructed by TMOD. Number 3, please keep your video on unless you have the issue with the bandwidth. Rule number 4, do not share your screen unless it is instructed by Toastmaster of the day. Number 5, kindly refrain your movement which can distract the speaker. In case you want to move, please turn off your video in advance. You can use emojis, thumbs ups, claps to react throughout the meeting. And when we are speaking, there is a protocol. The correct protocol is you can say good morning, President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. And last rule, please maintain broad smile throughout the meeting. Okay, now it's time to introduce our president, who is engineer by profession, and he loves to go on solo trips. Please welcome Toastmaster Chandrashekhar.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Toastmaster Nilesh, for that energetic address. I, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar Mankar, the presiding officer of this meeting, declare this meeting as open. Now, let us start with the guest introduction. Today, do we have any guest in the meeting? Let me see if any guests are there. As of now, I am not able to see any guest in the meeting. And I would request each and everyone, especially all the role players, to use the suffix Toastmaster in their front of name. And if they are playing any role, please add the name prefix in their name. Now, I want to show you all an image and I want you to recognize. Does anyone know the character name that you are able to see on the screen? I hope you are able to see the screen first. Anyone? Okay, the name is written there. You don't have to guess it also. If you could read it. Okay, anyone would like to read the name or should I go ahead with it? Okay, I don't see any raise of hand, or even if there are, I'm not able to see because of the screen share. So this character, as you see on the screen, is called as Mark Evans. Can you guess what he would be doing? He was a cartoon character. He still is. What do you think he's doing? You know, he has a headband on his head. He has big spiky hair. What do you think he does? Any guesses?
Hello,
Yes.
Audible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, by the looks of it, I think he plays football or soccer.
Okay. You're absolutely right. What role he, or like what is the thing that he might be doing in the football team?
I think he might be a goalkeeper.
Exactly right. So Mark Evans, aka Mark, if we call him, he is nothing but a goalkeeper of a team which is called as Inazuma 11, and that is the name of the cartoon that I used to watch. Now the interesting story is that this was the cartoon that I saw for the very first time way back in 2010 when I was in my 10th standard while my board exam were going on. And when I found this cartoon very first time on the TV, I was totally mesmerized by it. Not because he was like a really good goalkeeper, but when you start watching that cartoon, you get to know many, many things about Mark Evans, like what kind of person he is and how he motivates each and every team player. If you watch that cartoon, you will get to know about camaraderie, friendship, leadership, and all these qualities he has himself in it. And he always try to motivate the person who are surrounding to him. And that's what makes this cartoon so special for me. Each and every day I used to come at 6 o'clock from the school, because the cartoon show used to start at 6 o'clock, and I had to reach really fast to my home place. Otherwise, I would have missed it. There was no internet for me at that time so that I can rewatch it. And because of that, I had to come really fast from the school, and I used to manage my time as well. So two things that I learned from that, apart from leadership skills and other things, is that time management. Because to watch that cartoon, I had to come really fast. Now, similarly, in Toastmasters, we learn a lot of things. These may include friendship, leadership, camaraderie skills. Apart from that, communication skill, and the most important is the time management. Each and every cartoon that we used to see in our childhood were there to give us some knowledge, to give us some things that we can enjoy upon. So today our Toastmaster of the day is going to tell us more about the cartoons which we might be knowing or might not, and will pull us out all the stops to make sure that we enjoy today's meeting. Now let me introduce you to the Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day is someone who is by profession is a senior behavioral and educational therapist, and she likes drawing mandala. So let us welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Insiya. Over to you,
Thank you.
Toastmaster Insiya.
Thank you, President. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Can somebody tell me what is this cartoon? Has anybody seen this cartoon? Can
Yes.
anybody? Yes.
I think it was like at that time when I was in school,
Yes.
like Noddy and Bob the
No, this
Builder.
is not Noddy.
Yeah, but it was the same show, right?
Okay.
Oswald?
Yes. Yes, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar. That's Oswald. Okay. So, firstly, dear Toastmasters, presiding officers, guests, a very, very good morning. I welcome you all to the 426th meeting, which is themed as cartoons, and I am going to be your Oswald for today. Okay. So, when I was young and I was in school, as Toastmaster Nilesh rightly said, that I was in school when Oswald used to come. So I still remember that me and my sister, we used to love this cartoon, and we used to get up 8 in the morning, 7:30, 8 in the morning during our vacations. Because in the Middle East countries, the cartoons used to be shown a little earlier than how it is in India. So we just used to get up so early. We used to not get up during our schools, but for seeing this cartoon, we used to get up really early in the morning. And I used to love watching this blue color octopus that you can see. This blue color octopus, as you can see, named Oswald, and you can see there are many of his friends nearby, has taught me significant amount of lessons during its course of time. So Oswald was somebody who was very friendly. So I don't know how many of you have seen the cartoon, but I think you should see the cartoon, and you should show it to your children also, because this is one of the nicest cartoons that you can show. It has tremendous amount of lessons that can be learned. Now, going forward, firstly, I would like to tell you what are cartoons. So basically, we all know cartoons are something that makes us happy. It's an image, but actually, the definition would be that it is a form of visual art that is drawn, and it's frequently animated also, and it's sometimes unrealistic. The characters are sometimes unrealistic, but some of them are semi-realistic, means there are some kind of substance to that cartoon characters that is shown on the television. The specific meaning has evolved. Now, from time to time, it has been evolved. But now, if we talk about the modern usage, it is either used as images that helps us understand satire, caricature, or humor. So these are some of the usages that cartoons has in today's world. And the person who makes a cartoon, as we all know, is called a cartoonist. Now, I have heard many of parents complaining that my child is always glued to the TV. He's always watching cartoons. I know that watching screen more is not something which is advisable, but there are some good advantages also of watching cartoons. That why should a child, especially a child of that age, that is from 3 to 6 or 3 to 7 years of age, should be watching cartoon? So firstly, learning at the earliest, there are so much of learning that a child can get from the characters, which I have seen personally that they imitate also. For example, I always was so much inspired by Oswald. I like the way how he was always helpful to people, helpful to his friends. And I took that as a characteristic in my own personality. That is being helpful to parents, so helpful to friends and people around you. So I feel that this is something which cartoons, showing cartoons at early age helps. Second thing that is more important is cognitive development. The child starts thinking that why is this character doing this? There's a lot of thinking that is encouraged, and that is going to boost his thinking and cognitive skills, which is very important. So I think that is also one reason. And next very important thing is language development. Children learn how to speak because they're hearing the cartoon speaking in a language. They try to imitate them and they pick up vocabulary, and they learn how to speak on the early stages, which is very difficult. That is something which parents usually struggle with. So this is something which is the benefits of watching cartoon. Of course, there are some not so good use as we say advantages, but we'll focus on advantages for now. Now, moving ahead, first we'll play a game called Guess the Cartoon. Can somebody guess this cartoon? I think it's very easy. Everybody has seen this cartoon, mostly everybody.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yes. Can you tell me what was his favorite vegetable, Toastmaster?
Spinach.
Yes. So somebody, spinach was something which he always loved. Yes, that's correct. Now,
Bob the Builder, I guess.
yes, that's correct. Toastmaster Bob the Builder. That is how it went. And one, I think, last. What happened? This is anybody
That is Bugs
remember?
Bunny. Bugs Bunny and collectively they are called Looney Tunes.
The Looney Tunes.
Yes, correct.
Looney
Correct. The Looney Tunes. I like the Tweety the most. I think her name was Tweety only. She was the cutest in all of them. Okay. Now, firstly, I would like to, uh, for the benefit of guests, I would first like to introduce you how the meeting is going to be. So the meeting is today divided it into three different areas. Firstly, first area is where we have one prepared speech that is going to be delivered by one seasoned Toastmaster and evaluated by a seasoned Toastmaster. Then we have an educational session today by a veteran Toastmaster who is going to help us enhance our skills of speech writing. Then the second would consist of the impromptu table topic session today, table topic speaking session. And lastly, we would be having an evaluation session where all the role players will be evaluated by our general evaluator for today. Okay, so now let us move on. Let me introduce you to the Powerpuff team for today. So that is our tag team. The tag team is the one who helps us to evaluate our overall meeting and enhance different skills. And of course, when they are called Powerpuff, they do have some powers. So, firstly, I would like to introduce our NAM 10. So I have, as you can see, I have made caricatures of all the role players and the favorite, and I've also given them some names, some cartoon names, and their favorite cartoon characters. So as you can see, the timer for today is Toastmaster Namrata, whose cartoon name is Nam 10, because it's inspired from Ben 10. And as Ben 10 had a watch and had some powers related to that, today our timer also has a power to make sure that everybody is on time. And to introduce her role, I would like to call her on the visual stage, Toastmaster Namrata, who would be playing the timer for today.
Hello everyone, good morning. So, Mr. President, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, good morning. So, today I will be the timer for today's meet. Should I explain the role as well?
Yes, Toastmaster Namrata.
Okay, so when a speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, I will turn on the green card. Uh, then, if he reaches exact midpoint of time range allotted, I will turn on the yellow card. And when a speaker reaches the maximum time allotted for his or her speech, I will turn on the red card. However, 30 seconds grace period will be given to speaker to close his or her speech in order to qualify for the poll. And at the end, I will report qualifying times when called upon throughout the meeting. Yeah, so that's all.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Namrata. Now it's time for our second Powerpuff, who will make sure that we don't use a lot of filler words. Toastmaster Nitin, his favorite cartoon is Tom and Jerry, but I couldn't give him a name because I don't know if he's a Tom or a Jerry. So, Toastmaster Nitin, can you please help me give a name to yourself because I don't know who you are, Toastmaster Nitin.
You can give me Tom.
Okay, so Tom. So Tom is the cat who is very witty, who always wants to make sure that he catches the Jerry. And who is the Jerry in your life, Toastmaster Nitin? There has to be a Jerry.
my daily routines, I'm a Jerry.
Yeah. So Toastmaster Nitin, please help us explain your role.
Yeah. So good morning, President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters. Today I'm playing role of our counter. So let me explain what my role is by giving the context. Like imagine you have been asked by your project manager to give or present a report about your project to your teammates and use lots of while presenting use lots of filler words like and the but and some of the filler sounds like generally we use like so do you think your audience, your team will enjoy it? No, right? So kindly try to avoid all kind of filler words and filler sounds in your speech, and so that you can make your speech make a splash out of it. And what we can do is like yeah, so what I will do is like I will evaluate all the speeches and present my report in the end. Thank you. Over to you, Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin. Now, whose time it is? Beam, 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 chota beam, chota beam. So we have Chota Devu. Okay, so who will be Toastmaster Devai, who is going to play the role of grammarian. I'm sure that Toastmaster Devai also has a lot of laddus with her and acquires all the power that she has to help us evaluate our good and not so good usage as a grammarian. Toastmaster Devai, please come forward and explain your role. You're on mute, Toastmaster Devai. We cannot hear you.
Can I?
Yes.
Audible?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Insiya, for the energetic introduction of mine. Good morning, Toastmaster of the Day, President, fellow Toastmasters, and their guests. As a grammarian, today I will note down the good usage of English language as well as the not so good usage of it. Let me share my screen to. Can you please?
Yes, just a second.
Yes.
Yes, you can share your screen.
Is my screen is visible? You?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes. Thank you for the acknowledgement. So the today's word of the day is caricature. As I had already shared it in the group, its meaning is a picture or description of somebody that makes his or her appearance or behavior funnier and more extreme than it really is. The similar words as noun are cartoon, mimicry, parody, and as in verb form, mimic, ridicule, parody, distort. We can use it like many of the people in the book are caricatures of the author's friends. And the next example of it is her political career has been caricatured in headlines. We can easily guess what does it mean by seeing these caricatures of the famous, we can say the Barack Obama and the Albert Einstein. And the today's phrase of the day is make a splash. And its meaning is attract a great deal of attention. Example, hydrochloroquine as a medicine made a splash after Donald Trump's announcement to request it from India. The second example of it is ChatGPT has successfully made a splash in an online world within matter of weeks and gained millions of users. So I request you to use word of the day and phrase of the day. I will note down whoever is using it, and please upload them while the speaker is using word of the day or phrase of the day using the thumbs up, or you can use the thumbs up reactions in the chat. So I would request you to use that during the meeting, and at the end of the meeting, I will report with the good usage of English language as well as the not so good usage of it. Thank you all to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Insiya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devai. I hope the caricatures that I have made of Toastmasters has made a splash on all the members present here. So now, let me move forward. We will also be having a general evaluator for the meeting who would be played by Toastmaster Tatya Sahib, who would be evaluating the overall meeting and presenting his report when called upon at the end of the meeting. Now it's time for our first half of today's meeting, that is the prepared speech. So here every speech that is going to be presented have its own specific time limit and certain fixed objective. That is why we call it as a project. Now the speaker one today will be delivering Reflect Your Path. That is the last project from the Pathway Presentation Mastery. The evaluator for the speech is Toastmaster J, who I call it as Jexter. His cartoon name would be Jexter, which is inspired from his favorite cartoon, which is Dexter, because I am sure that he has acquired all the intelligence from the cartoon named Dexter. He is an engineer at Dalmer, and as I've already mentioned, he is going to be the evaluator. I would like him to please give the objectives of the speech. Toastmaster Jay, you're not audible.
Good morning, all. Perfect. Once again, thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Insiya. Now, today, one of our best speaker will deliver his last speech. Reflect on your path. The purpose of this project is to reflect on your growth during the completion of this path. Best of luck to Toastmaster Ashutosh, our speaker, and back to you, Toastmaster Insiya. Time limit 10 to 12 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jay. Now, it's time for our first speaker today. So, our first speaker today is Toastmaster Ashutosh, whom I can also call as Uncle Ash, because his favorite cartoon character is Uncle Scrooge. Okay, and if you can see, both of their facial expressions are also kind of same, I think. So, Toastmaster Ashutosh, his speech title is Mistakes. Toastmaster Ashutosh, mistakes, Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you, Insiya, for your introduction and making a mimic of my personality as a cartoon. So, mistakes. Mistakes are one of the best things that has happened to us. You may be surprised why. So, here is how and why. You know, in every walk of life, mistake gives an opportunity to improve. It gives an opportunity to ponder on the areas where we have done something wrong and what need to be improved, what need to be acted upon, what need to be corrected. If we just go back a short while earlier, our sergeant at arms of today's meeting, what he said to us. Anybody? Let me phrase it for you also again. Please refrain from movement here and there. Please make sure that your mobile phone is on silent mode. Please turn on your videos. Why he said these rules to us? What was the importance of these rules? Why he need to iterate these things in every meeting? The reason is very simple. Because we are in a habit of doing these things. Whenever we are starting our meetings or whenever we are joining any meeting, we may be using our mobile phones. We may be talking here and there. We are not focusing on the videos. We are not focusing on the talks we are going on to. So the rules have been set that you should refrain from doing these kind of activities. So is the rules. All rules, these are reactive in nature. For example, in our college or in office also, we have seen that it is mentioned over there, drinking alcohol is prohibited. Is it not? Or when we are going on the highways, we have seen that don't drink and drive. We have never seen never our sergeant at arms said that please do not sing a song when speaker is speaking. Or on the road, we have not seen that it is written that please do not ride your vehicle if your headlight is not on. So why these kind of words were not there? We have seen that please stick no bills on the wall, or sometimes beware of dog. So when we made this kind of rules, when we make this kind of regulation, there's a reason behind it. When we as an individual are in act of doing something, when we are doing something repeatedly again and again, and we have to, then we observe that these things need not to be done in our daily lives. Then the things come into picture that we have to make some certain rules and we should not act accordingly. These kind of rules, procedures, policies, these all are made to make our life better. These rules are put in place to ensure that whatever the purpose of the activity that we wanted to move forward, what we wanted to take ahead, should be met with all the success that is required. So here's the Toastmasters. When I have completed my pathway and when I'm presenting my speech of reflect on my path, what mistakes I have done, what I have learned from Toastmasters, from my pathway of presentation mastery. To start with, I was not good with communication at all. I have never addressed such a larger size of audience. I have never given any of my talks to people all present in the online or in offline format. So there were a lot of mistakes that I have done. But what is the good part of it? I have learned from those mistakes. So to name few, I was not knowing that how to face the camera, what is the importance of facial expression, what is the importance of verbal and non-verbal communication, how to have a good use of hand gestures, how to face the camera, whether I'm using the entire stage or not. So these were the things that I learned over there. And any walk of life, if we are going to start something for the very first time, mistake is something that is bound to happen. But what is the good part of it? We are learning from those mistakes, and we are moving a step ahead after another. Learning from those mistakes, first creating mistakes, learning from it, putting it in our activities, and improving. That does not mean that mistakes will not happen again. But every time, if new mistake is there, it is in disguise and learning opportunity. When we learn from it, that how we should do, how we should move in a certain way, how we will be able to achieve our goals. From completing my Toastmasters journey, I have covered a long journey. I feel maybe that I have improved a lot. The way how I was speaking earlier and the way how I'm speaking now, I can sense a huge difference. And I have got a lot of testimony on that part as well. Yesterday, I was speaking to Bhilai Toastmasters Club, and there I was able to bag the Best Speaker Award. You know why? Because all the mistakes that I have learned in my past speeches, the evaluation mechanism that is there in Toastmasters Club, that all has helped me to become a better speaker. The mistakes I haven't repeated again and again, but that does not mean that I'm not doing mistakes now also. But what I'm doing, working on it, is I'm learning from those mistakes. The evaluation, the feedback that I will be getting now onwards also, I have to work on those areas and I will be improving and I will become a better speaker. Just to talk about, reflect on my path. So how it has affected myself as an individual, how it has improved me and my personality. So I am going to talk on 6 aspects, how this Toastmasters, how this entire path presentation mastery journey has helped me to become a better person, how what impact it has casted on my personality, on my life. So first, long talk. Earlier, whenever I used to meet people, it was just a kind of hello, hi kind of communication. For example, if I meet somebody, hey, hi, Ashutosh, hey, hi, that was it. I was not able to extend that communication little longer. Perhaps I was falling short of words. Perhaps I was not having that kind of thought process in my mind, or there's a fumble in my mind that I was not able to establish a communication a little longer. And when you are working in a society, when you are dealing in your office, and when you are in a certain kind of roles, you need to have such kind of long communication because it establishes a communication, it establishes a relationship between you and your stakeholders. So long talk, this is one area that I have learned after joining Toastmasters. Moving ahead, pause and persuasion. I have received a feedback lot many times that I need to pause while speaking. It should not be a continuous. When I'm speaking, I need to know when to pause, then at what time I should speak again, and what is the persuasion of my speak. whether I'm able to pursue somebody, whether I'm able to pursue my thought also, taking what I can build a further story, build a further communication. So pausing and persuasion, this has also helped me to communicate better, to establish a good relationship in my organization, in my personal and my professional life as well. So it is not just giving a speech, but how much pausing and persuasion is required. That is also something that I have learned in Toastmasters. So long talk, pause and persuasion. Now we'll move to third, the creativity. Whenever you are speaking to somebody, you can be monotonous, you can keep on speaking what is there in your mind, but what creative elements you can bring into it, how you are able to hook to your audience, how you're able is hooked to your content, what you're doing. So you need to be creative enough, you need to be smart, you need to be good storyteller, because people connect with stories very well. So either you make it or you fake it, but you have to bring a good creativity in your speech, so that whosoever is listening to you, he should be able to connect with you, he should be able to resonate with your idea, he should be able to think like you are thinking. So a good creativity is something that is a must for any speech, for any content, for any kind of dialogue delivery. So again, if I talk about long talk, persuasion, pauses, creativity. Now to take my discussion a little further, just a moment, I can't see the timer card. Uh, Observation skills. Again, when it is long talk, persuasion, creativity, then observation skills. Observation skills also something that is very important and that I have also learned, because it is not just about giving speeches and listening feedbacks. I have observed others also, how they are speaking, what is a good part of their speech, how I can learn from their speeches. Because when I say mistakes are a good thing, it does not mean that all the mistakes that I need to do. It is something that I have also learned from others' mistakes. If I'm if I'm the one who is going to learn from others' mistakes, then only I will be able to make all things in a certain fashion that will help me to achieve my goals. If all the mistakes need to be done by myself only, then to learn it from it, then the life will fall short to learn everything. So persuasion, long talk, observation skills, and these are the skills that has helped me to become a better orator, to become a better person. And presentation mastery, reflect on my path. I can look back to my journey that I have learned a lot from these all stages or the project that I have delivered. So again, Toastmasters specifically and presentation mastery has taught me well, and I'm going to take these lessons, learnings from hereafter, and implement in my subsequent speech and become a better orator every another day. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashutosh. That was indeed an amazing speech, and I can see that you have learned a lot from your pathway and Toastmasters journey, and thank you to share all of that learnings with us. Now, I would like to give 30 seconds time for writing the feedback in online in the chat zone. So, if anybody has any feedback, you can please let us know in the chat. And Toastmaster Namrata, please let us know once the 30 seconds are over. Okay, so now it's time. We all know that ISC contest and table topics contest is round the corner. And it's very important that we are all prepared for the same. And to prepare us for the same, we have someone who is part of Congruent Toastmasters Club, that is a corporate club of Congruent Solutions. He is a manager, talent and organization development HR. He has been awarded as a young HR achiever by Larsen and Tobro Mumbai in July 2020. He is a Toastmasters Advanced Communication, that is silver, bronze. He's a district semi-finalist, ISC 2017, district champion table topics 2018, district finalist ISC 2020, and a runner-up in district ISC 2022. I think that speaks amount of things about you, Toastmaster. I would like Toastmaster Selvarajan to please come up on the virtual stage to educate us on speech writing for ISC contest.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Insiya. I feel really honored and privileged to be a part of the club meeting of your esteemed club. And right from the beginning, I have been observing the meeting proceedings, and I was able to take back lots of lessons back to my home club from the meeting that you are hosting today, especially the creativity and innovation in introducing the role players, introducing the speakers, and offering an opportunity for a better peer learning experience in terms of asking every member to share the feedback on the speaker's speech. And that is where true learning happens, I believe. And most of them have shared their appreciations and feedback over the chat window. And these are all some good practices which should definitely be even recommended to the Toastmasters International Forum, so that they can cascade it down to all the clubs in the world. So that is the kind of speciality or innovation or quality and standard that you folks carry in today's meeting that I have seen. And I'm really glad to be a part of the club that follows such esteemed principles and good practices for every member's satisfaction, better experience, and development. I'm glad. So thank you so much for the invitation to share a few cents from my end on how to prepare for the international speech contest. So in Toastmasters, we have 4 formats of contests. The international speech contest, which is a prepared speech that a member has to deliver for 5 to 7 minutes. We also have 3 other formats, namely the humorous speech contest, the table topics contest, the speech evaluation contest. And I used to believe in this principle, ladies and gentlemen. So in order to be a good communicator, because communication skills involves 4 aspects: listening, reading, speaking, and writing. So someone who reads a lot, someone who is interested in reading would definitely be good at writing. And someone who is interested or someone who is a good listener will definitely be a good speaker. Now, what is that competency that I should carry or a member should carry to be a good ISC speaker in the contest, who can deliver the best speech in an international speech contest? Now, the one criteria or competency that one should possess to be a better speaker in the international speech contest is if you're able to enjoy the speech of your fellow Toastmasters, if you're able to dissect the speeches delivered by your club members and take the best components out of it, take the good practices out of it, and try to apply it in your speeches at the club level, you are eligible and you are qualified to be a good speaker in the club level international speech contest. So in order to be a good contestant who competes or who offers a quality contest to the rest of the club members or to the rest of the members of the fraternity, you should be able to enjoy the speeches of your other club members. That's it. It is as simple as that. I have been a member of the Toastmasters Club for the last 8 years, and I have been an active contestant for the last 6 years. And in the last 4 years, I have been fortunate enough to reach the district levels in the contests that I used to participate. And the amount of learning that I get in each and every level, right from the club to the area to the division and to the district, the learning has been surplus. The learning has been enormous because every time I had to compete with the best of the bests, right from the club level up till the district level, the lessons that I have learned from my fellow contestants have always helped me grow in terms of the contest. So initially with the fellow members, with the members of the other clubs, with the members of the other division, it used to be a contest, but then beyond the point, the contest attitude changed into the attitude of a collaborator. So the lessons that I have learned from them has been very rich, I should say. And those lessons are something that I wanted to share with you today. If my speech has to stand out from the rest of the contestants in an international speech contest, or if my speech has to stay distinguished from the rest of the speeches that are delivered by my club members, how should I write my speech? How should I structure my speech? What are all the various ingredients that I should have in my speech? And how should I serve it to my audience so that they would definitely appreciate taking it up? Now, in these lines, when I thought of it, I have a 10-step approach to deliver a 7-minute speech. And when we follow that 10-step approach, the quality of the speech or the structure of the speech has been good in my experience. So I'll give you those 10 steps today in the next 20 to 25 minutes of time. Probably I'll try to make it as a workshop model where I give my experience fitting into those 10 steps, and we can take it forward from that level onwards. So in an international speech contest or in any of the meetings in the Toastmasters clubs, something that has always worked is when a member talks about his or her failures, his or her flaws, his or her frustrations, the speech has always worked better. The speech has always connected with the audience better. And that is why expert Toastmasters, seniors, veterans, and mentors and coaches used to say, talk about the F words, talk about your failures, talk about your flaws, talk about your frustrations. Now, these aspects would connect with the audience better because when you keep talking about your success, you would be alienated from the rest of the members, from the rest of the audience. And they are mere mortals, they are fellow human beings who would have also experienced frustrations in their lives, who would have also committed so much of flaws in their lives, would have also undergone failures after failures after failures in their endeavors. So when you talk about your failures, flaws, and frustrations, people would definitely connect with you better. And that is the base on which the entire speech has to be constructed. And by the time you complete the speech should transport the audience from version A to an elevated point, which is the version B. So when you start your speech here, you would be in version A. And as you cruise through your speech and complete the speech, you would have gone several notches above and you would be an updated person at an elevated point B, and that would be the end of your speech. Now, what has to happen in this journey is what I'm going to give you through the 10-step approach that I have for you. Define your problem. Audience would be more interested to know your failures, frustration, and flaws, which is a problem that we would have encountered, experienced, or faced. Define that problem. So definition of a problem is very important. Now, if in my example, if I have to share with you a real-time example or experience that I had, as a school student, I was very much fascinated in playing cricket. And I was very much interested to be a part of my school cricket team. So I adorned my gloves, I wore my pads, I had my helmet, I took the bat, walked to the middle of the ground, stood in the pitch, was ready to face the bowler, and I heard a voice from the back. someone screaming, "Who erected 4 stumps over there?" And it was my cricket coach who said, "You are not even fit to play cricket. You don't even have the stamina to carry the cricket bat. How will you face such quality fast bowlers? You are unfit to play cricket. Please get out of the ground," he said. Now I was upset. I was dejected. And that is my problem. Now, the second step, what did you feel about the problem that is hovering you? Now, I wanted to be a cricketer. I wanted to be a part of my school cricket team, but my coach rejected me. Now, I was asked to go outside and sit outside the boundary line, sit outside the ground, and all my friends were happily playing in the field. Now, I saw the ground filled with my friends. They were together playing the game. They displayed a huge magnitude of teamwork, and I was the one who felt very lonely. And I felt dejected. I felt demotivated that I can never play together with my friends. I can never play good cricket. I can never be a part of my school cricket team. And I felt discouraged. So the second step, what did you feel about the problem? I felt demotivated. I felt lonely. I felt discouraged. Now the third step is, how did the problem impact you? So the first step, you are defining the problem. In the second step, what did you feel about the problem? In the third step, how did the problem impact you? When those words were from the coach of my school cricket team, I felt I'm fit for nothing and I can never achieve anything in life. That was, after all, being a part of the school cricket team to play along with my friends. And when my coach himself told me that I'm unfit to play cricket with that stamina, I had lots of self-doubts which pulled my spirits down and I lost my confidence. And that was the permanent impact that the problem had on me. Now, all these things would help us in setting the context. Now, from the next step onwards, we are going to get a little more deep into the speech. Now, I have explained the problem so far. I have told you what did the problem made me feel like, and what was the permanent impact did the problem leave on me? What was the scar that the problem left on me? So this is the definition of the entire problem statement. The next step is the transformation step. Who was your transforming agent who helped you to get out of the problem? Or what was your transformational agent that helped you come out of the problem? So while I was sitting under the tree outside the ground, feeling lonely, watching my friends playing cricket together happily, my school senior who came that way looked at me and said, "Selva, it's okay. This year you might be rejected, but if you practice hard, if you work on your stamina, if you improve on your fitness, maybe by next year, you can appear for the selection once again and get selected. Don't lose confidence." So my school senior was the transforming agent for me there. So my school senior came to me and said, "Selva, if you work on your stamina, if you practice regularly, and if you improve your fitness, maybe you can get selected in the next year's school cricket team." And this is the transformational part. Now, before completing this entire part, I will have to describe my transforming agent. So I said it was my school senior. He said this, and I closed it. And in between both these aspects, there should be something more to it. I have to describe my school senior so that I give or I paint a picture of my school senior right in front of your eyes. Because more than delivering a speech, we will have to give an impression to the audience of painting the entire picture of the speech right in front of our eyes. So at any point of time when you introduce a character, at any point of time when you introduce an object, describe the character or describe the object by mentioning something. So when I was sitting alone under the tree outside the ground, my school senior, who was tall like a teak tree, came to me and said, Selva, don't worry. This year you might have been rejected. Focus on your fitness, improve your stamina, start practicing harder, because practice makes a man perfect. And maybe by next year, you will definitely get selected in the school cricket team. And when I said my school senior, tall like a teak tree, your mind subconsciously would imagine a tall person. And that is what will happen to the audience as well. Now, when you say someone who is tall, someone who is short, someone who has this particular characteristic, the audience mind subconsciously would start thinking about it. And that is where, as a speaker, you also play the role of a painter in painting the picture of the person in the minds of the audience. And now when you do so, the memorability factor about your speech gets increased completely, and it increases constantly. And that is very important for a speaker. So my transforming agent was introduced. I have described him and I have told you what did he suggest me. So those are the next 3 steps. Who was your transforming agent? It was my school senior. Describe your transforming agent. He was tall like a teak tree. What was suggested by your transforming agent, or what was recommended by your transforming agent? And that in that part is when I told you, he told me to practice continuously. He told me to improve my stamina. He told me to work on my fitness. And when this happens, I would get selected in the school cricket team the next year. So those 3 were the suggestions. And now comes to the, we are moving to the solution part. So the problem was described. Then we got into the transforming agent, and now we are moving to the solution part of it. And in the solution part, listening to the words of my school senior or taking up the words of my transforming agent, what are the 3 things that I did? Now I'm being very specific about 3 things because in any storytelling formats, especially in the Toastmasters style of education, there is something called the power of 3. So when you explain something using 3 examples, when you explain something using 3 illustrations, or when you convey a message using 3 stories or 3 anecdotes, the memorability of the message, the memorability of the story, or the memorability of the illustration in the minds of the audience registers in a strong manner. So what are the 3 things that I did? I started running around the ground every day for 1 hour to improve my fitness. I started doing all the warm-up exercises to increase my stamina. And after school hours, I started to practice in the nets from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to improve the quality of the game. So these are the 3 things that I did. So number 1, I started running around the ground to improve my fitness. I started doing the warm-up exercises to increase my stamina. I started practicing in the nets from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. after the school hours to improve the quality of the game. And now what is the result? Next year, when I appeared for the school selection trials, my coach was stunned by my performance, and I performed better than many other students who came for the selection trials, and I was selected for the school cricket team. That is the result. How did I feel about the result now? That is the 9th step. After being selected for the school cricket team, I felt that I also have some talent which I can prove to the world. And now I'm going to play along with my friends in the school cricket team. I felt proud that I'm going to represent my school in the cricket tournaments. And coming to the 10th step, which is the message. That day, when I heard the words from my school senior who said, "Practice makes a man perfect," it was something that was very simple, but it was profound. But today, the results have shown me that practice really makes a man perfect. And when practice can make a man out of a boy in me to be a part of the school cricket team, imagine what it can do to you. The speech gets over. So 10 steps, I would quickly recollect, and then I would bring the story once again. Define your problem is the first step. What did the problem make you feel like? Or what did you feel about the problem? That is the second step. How did the problem leave a scar on you? How did the problem impacted you? That is the third step. Who was your transforming agent, or what was your transforming agent? That is the fourth step. Describe your transforming agent. Paint a picture of your transforming agent in the minds of the audience. So describing your transforming agent is the fifth step. What did your transforming agent suggest you or recommend you? And this part, the sixth step, is where the message gets tied to. The seventh step is, what are the three things that you did based on the recommendation or based on the suggestions from your transforming agent? Eighth step is, what is the end result? Where have you arrived at? And the ninth step is, how do you feel now? In the second step, you felt miserable about the problem. In the ninth step, you would have felt a sense of achievement, sense of happiness, sense of satisfaction about the results. So how did you feel about it? And the 10th step, what is the message? And this message should be tied to the recommendation from your transforming agent. So now if I'll have to put all these 10 steps together and communicate my speech to you, it was the year 2007 when I wanted to be a part of my school cricket team. I had on my gloves, wore my pads, took my helmet on, carried the bat and walked right into the middle of the ground. And when I was about to face the fastest bowler of my school cricket team, my coach shouted at me from outside the ground and said, "You're unfit to play cricket. You are so lean like a cricket stump. Get out of the ground. We have quality bowlers who would hurt you." And I felt rejected and dejected. And I felt demotivated because I cannot be a part of my school cricket team as per the words of my cricket coach. Now, I was sitting under the tree outside the ground, watching all my friends happily playing cricket together for my school cricket team. And for a minute, I felt I'm unfit even to be a part of the school cricket team. And how can I do great things in life when my coach himself said I'm unfit to play cricket? My school senior who came that way looked at me, sitting very sad outside the ground, said, he was tall like a teak tree. He came to me and said, "Selva, it's okay. This year you might have been rejected from the school cricket team, but don't lose heart. Focus on your fitness, improve your stamina, increase the standard of your game. Practice makes a man perfect. Remember that and start focusing on to get into the school cricket team next year." Now, his words of wisdom instilled a little bit of hope in me. And so I started running around the ground 3 times in a day to increase my fitness. I started doing all the warm-up exercises to improve my stamina. And I started playing in the nets from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. after school hours every day to increase the standard and quality of my game. And guess what? When I appeared for the school cricket team selection the next year, the same coach who rejected me was stunned by my performance this year. And I was selected to be a part of my school cricket team this year over many other students who appeared for the selection trials. And that is when I remembered the words of my senior who said, practice makes a man perfect. Now, when practice brought a man out of this little boy who is standing in front of you, remember what it can do to you. That's it. This is the speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Selvarajan. Firstly, I would like everybody to give him a round of applause. I think those 10 steps are going to be helpful for a lot of people. I am going to use them, and I wish that I really go far in the contest that I'm going to participate in. And the examples that you gave was bang on. It was so smooth and so easy to understand. Indeed, you are a champion at district level. I think your speech and the way you conducted yourself has proven that fact. Thank you so very much. And I think everyone, behalf of us, would like to thank you for this wonderful educational session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, now it's time, before going for a quick break, I think we have a break of like 5 minutes. We can take for 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Please, timer, if you can just tell me that. Can we take for like 3 minutes, a quick break?
We can have for 5 minutes.
Yes.
We can have for 5 minutes? Okay, but before going for a break, let me do a little guess the cartoon and then we can go for a break. So can anybody please tell me which is this cartoon?
Peppa Pig.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It's George, I guess.
It's George. Okay, I think the first what you said was correct. The name of the cartoon.
Peppa Pig.
Yes, that's correct. It's Peppa Pig. And with this, we can go for a break for like 5 minutes and we'll quickly come back for the remaining session. Thank you. Okay, so welcome back to the meeting, everybody. So before moving forward, we have a slight change in the agenda. So we also had a table topic educational session today, but due to some emergency, the speaker could not make it in for the educational session. So we would not be doing that today, but we would be continuing with the further procedure, that is the table topic session and the evaluation session for today. So now it's time for the second session for today's meeting, that is the impromptu speaking. And for that, we have a, okay, before moving that, first we'll have to guess the cartoon.
Shin-chan.
Yes, that's correct. That's a Shin-chan. It's a cute little cartoon. Shin-chan, Shin-chan. So, for the table topic master, today we have somebody whom I have named as Mooby-Doo. Okay? Because he runs a lot of marathons. He likes running. He likes cycling. And he's also QA lead by profession. And his favorite cartoon is Scooby-Doo. And I think he has taken a lot of characteristics from Scooby-Doo. That is being loyal, and he is a very loyal and a dedicated Toastmaster. So I would like to welcome our table topic master for today, Toastmaster Mayuresh, to please come forward and make us all think.
Thank you, Toastmaster Insiya, for that wonderful introduction. Now, let's start with our table topics. So basically, what is table topic session? Table topic is basically when a topic is just given to you impromptu and you start speaking on that. You make a caricature out of your words and then make a splash on the audience. That's what table topic is all about. To begin with, I'd like to have one volunteer, and I think we already have one volunteer, Elias. And yeah, please raise your hands. So, okay, let's start with Elias first. So, Elias, the topic I would like to give you is.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
And
yes.
Yeah. Okay, the topic that I would like to give you is, which cartoon would you like to be if you get a chance? If you are a cartoon, which would you like to be? Toastmaster Elias.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and fellow cartoon lovers, hello. If I was a caricature of a cartoon, I would like to be Detective Conan. If you know Detective Conan, it is a detective that got a poison and he is shrinking into a child. So an elementary student, but with the intelligence of a senior high school student. Because I want to make a splash into the world. Never underestimate elementary student. If you are a teacher, you will always have to struggle. Your children here has a lot of imagination. How you can control their imagination into a good thing. How you can manage their imagination still intact. Don't kill their imagination. Some of the teacher doesn't have their own imagination that make the student not creative. And that's why I choose Detective Conan. He is very intelligent. He can hide his identity from his beloved one. If you know, the name is Ran Mori, and he lived with the father of his spouse or his girlfriend, Koguro Mori, the detective with a track record of a police officer before, and he always protect his daughter. And yes, if you have the chance to protect your loved one also, even though you are having a shrinking body, then do it so. Because we now have technology. If you see Detective Conan, there are a lot of tools that he used to conquer the criminals and locate some of the best cases and solve it. So yes, that's it. Back to you, TTM.
Thank you, Toastmaster Elias, for that wonderful caricature. It was really enlightening to know about some more cartoon characters. And now for our second topic, we have our volunteers, Ajanta Task, Toastmaster Nilesh, and also I think I had seen Toastmaster Ashutosh raising his hand. Am I right? So
Yes.
Ashutosh and Nilesh, would you like to go for a debate? If
Yeah.
both of you are ready, then
would like to try.
I can give a debate topics. Okay, excellent. So I'd like to give you a topic. So let Toastmaster Nilesh go first. Toastmaster Nilesh, would you like to go for? Okay, the topic is cartoons. Are they good entertainer or waste of time? Would you like to go for good entertainer or waste of time?
Good. So can you please repeat?
Cartoons, good entertainer or waste of time?
Okay, I think that's good. Good entertainer.
Okay, you will go for good entertainer. So Ashutosh, your topic will be waste of time.
Okay.
Okay. So let's start with Toastmaster Nilesh first. Saturday Toastmaster Nilesh, cartoons, good entertainer. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, table topic master. I think since I was a child, I can tell you with my experience. When I was not eating my food, my mom and my dad used to show me the TV channel, cartoon channel, and I was just spending my time over there. We were we all basically were entertaining with the cartoons like Tom and Jerry and Scooby Doo like that. So obviously, it is a good entertaining medium for the children as well as for the elders, because now also I do watch Tom and Jerry. So it's a good time to spend with the cartoons.
To counter argument what Nilesh has just mentioned, though I'm agree to some extent, however, cartoon is a waste of time also, because some of the cartoons what you have observed also, for that matter, to quote some example, Shin Chan, he is so irritating. You see how his mom get annoyed the way he act in his daily life. All those activities are somewhat it is not going to give any learnings to the kids. However, it will teach the kids that how you can irritate your parents, your friends, and your family. And at the same time, it is not just wasting the students or the kids time, but also when you're watching it through the any kind of medium that is electronic, obviously, and it will going to impact a bad effect on your eyes and on your health also. So we should be doing all the efforts that will help to reduce your screen time, because if in our life we interact with the physical people, then learnings from there will be manifold. Uh, when we are interacting
Ashutosh,
with
can I say something on this?
yeah, sure.
Okay. I understand your point that we have to minimize the screen time, and children should go in the physical activities more. But I feel that it's 2023 now, and even on channels like YouTube, and there are a lot of good channels available for cartoons as well, wherein they are training our children how to obey the parents, how to learn ABCD from the YouTube channel. My son is 5 years old. I have not taught anything about English speaking, but he still speaks English, and he just has just started the school. So I feel that it's a good medium to teach our children. And as far as Sinchan is concerned, I feel that it is just a reflection of the children. That's why children are able to relate with that particular character, and accordingly, then we are training our children that, see, you have to not behave like this because this can lead to the some other things. So that is what I would like to
Right.
say.
So you in a way said the point that I also wanted to say. So anything is good and bad if it is used in a certain extent. So cartoon is good if we having a proper watch on it, because we have a live example when children and to some extent adults are also learning some bad practices out of which, and they are experiencing it in their life. Many of the games that is based out of cartoons have taken the life of many of the kids, and I thought blue whale or shark, some kind of game was there in which you have to act in a certain way that kids were taking their life. So if in a proper proctored way we are watching cartoons, then it is good. But overall, the physical interaction and the when we are meeting in person with the people is something that will never compete with the cartoons. So cartoons is good, but in a limited extent, people we should be more in a physical format than to watch TVs.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ashutosh, that you agree that cartoons are good and not bad. So I think
In a limited extent only.
yes. So yes, Toastmaster Mayuresh, I think we both feel that cartoons are good. Obviously, we should not extend much time in showcasing cartoons to our children, but definitely it can be learning as well as it can be a waste of time if we overdo it. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nilesh and Toastmaster Ashutosh. That was an excellent debate, and thanks for showing us that. So now As our next volunteer, we have Toastmaster Suchita. Toastmaster Suchita, I would like to give a topic. Now we have gone through a cartoons which we like or not like. This is a topic. The cartoon that I don't like. The cartoon that I don't like. Toastmaster Suchita.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me such an amazing topic, the cartoon which I really don't like. Yeah, there are so many cartoons which I don't like. The first one is Nobita from the Doraemon show. So the part of like I really yes the previous speakers the table we were talking that the cartoons we should watch cartoons at some extent, and we should encourage our child to watch the cartoons which are giving us information the same way. The Nobita is a very lazy child in that cartoon, and he always wanted to use short tricks to achieve his goals, maybe homework and all. And he always asked for the help. He always sleepy in the mode, and he wanted to get his work done by the Doraemon. So yeah, the cartoon Nobita, I don't admire his character. Although, but in that show there are so many good things like like Doraemon, who is very innovative. He has so many gadgets which give us the give our child to think about like technology, that it can also be possible. So I have watched one show where they were talking about the black holes and the white holes, from which the kids can learn that how is there are in the space there are black hole, white holes. And one day my daughter came to me and say, Mama, do you know there are white and black holes, and if I will throw you into the black hole, it won't be possible that I can get you back. But if I'll throw you with a large amount of gravity into the white holes, there is possibility that you can come out and meet me. So yeah, so Nobita is like character which I really don't admire. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suchita, for that take on Nobita and Doraemon. I had heard about disliking characters like Shinchan or Peppa Pig, but Nobita was the first one. I couldn't think that there will be some point to him that people wouldn't like. So thanks
Yes,
for bringing
he
that
is
forward.
funny, but he is funny, but he always convey the message. Just do the shortcuts, be lazy, take a help from others. He always try to convince her girlfriend by the help of Doraemon. So it's like he
Couldn't
don't
agree
want
more.
to take the charge and the ownership, which I really don't like.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Okay, so for my next topic, which is I'd like to again go for a debate mode. So do we have two volunteers? Would someone like to volunteer for one more debate? Yeah, we have one, Toastmaster Mayur and Toastmaster Venkatesh. So Toastmaster Mayur and Toastmaster Venkatesh, the topic that I would like to give both of you is which cartoons would you prefer? The cartoons that we see today in the modern time, or the cartoons which we used to see 30 years ago? Today's cartoons or cartoon 30 years ago? And before we launch into debate, I'd like to request timer that since we are having two speakers, let's have double the time so that both can have enough time to speak. So the timing for this will be instead of 1 minute, we will say green at 2 minutes, then yellow at 3 minutes, and red at 4 minutes. Is that okay, timer? Okay, excellent. So, Toastmaster Mayur, which topic would you like to choose? Today's cartoons or 30 years ago?
Of course, I will go with the today's cartoon.
Yes, excellent. That's what I was also expecting. So, Toastmaster Mayur and Toastmaster Venkatesh. Toastmaster Mayur will present for today's cartoon. Toastmaster Venkatesh, cartoons 30 years ago. Over to you.
Yeah, we are living in a world wherein cartoon world is more beyond the world which we are living. So that's why I really like to watch the cartoons. Since childhood, I have started watching the cartoons, and when I used to watch the cartoon, I could see
the ideas, the innovations which are we used to see in a cartoon have made a greater impact on our life. That whatever the topics like the chat GPT which we are currently seeing, but it was kind of one of the gadget which Doraemon had. So similarly, the gadgets which we have seen that has allowed us to think fast. That's the reason the technology has, or the since childhood itself, that has made impact on the children's mind, that they have allowed us to think beyond the current world. And that's why the children start thinking in a different way, how they can solve this problem in a particular way. Because why they are able to do it? Because they have watched the cartoons, the character which they love. Even though, like, just like Chota Bhim, even though situation is too hard, but how we can become a hero and help our team members, our friends, and even to save our village, even country. That kind of cartoon character has, if you are a good, then definitely you are going to win against all odds. So that is the character or the quality has embedded in us since childhood. And I would like, definitely there is no reason to not go for cartoons. I would like to pass on the battle for a while to the Venkatesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayur. So when we talk about the cartoon, and especially table topic master Toastmaster Mayuresh has given me a topic where in 30 years back, how the cartoon was, and whether it was really good to have go back to 30 years back or the present day's cartoon. Now talking about the cartoon, there is a caricature, I would say, is about the picture which depicts about particular character. Now, cartoon is nothing but a series of drawings, especially animated and taken it at a different level to depict certain characters, certain object, and especially made for children's. Now, why that is required? Especially, we might feel that why the cartoon? It doesn't make any sense to me as a 18 plus or the adult, you say, but children get attracted to the cartoon because if you see from their eye, every person looks like a cartoon to them. I've done a deep study about the child psychology. When they look at every person, every object, that's a cartoon for them. They feel this is what a cartoon. The man is a cartoon for them. Every person is a cartoon for them. And when you go back to 30 years back, there was no technology. There was not much tech-savvy people or technology was involved in the cartoon. It was clearly all about the fun, humor that kids used to enjoy when they used to watch a cartoon. But now, going back to the, again, 30 years ahead, the present day, it is all about the story, a technology which comes into picture. And it can misguide to the kids who are watching continuously cartoons. It can take them away from their study, or sometimes it can misguide totally looking at what the principle is. But if you look at the 30 years back, it was clearly what about the humor, entertainment for the kid who used to enjoy and nothing much. There may be some takeaways from that, but it was not much. So thank you. Over to you, table topic master, Toastmaster Mayuresh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkatesh and Toastmaster Mayur. That was an awesome debate. Now, we have a guest among us, a guest Pavni. So, guest Pavni, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I would like to go next.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, okay. So, for your topic, I have an easy one. Can you just enlighten us about your favorite cartoon? It can be anything. Yeah, your favorite cartoon. Just tell us about your favorite cartoon. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayuresh. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Pavni from Hitam Toastmasters Club. My favorite cartoon is Shinchan and Doraemon. Both, like from the childhood, I used to see both the cartoons. Especially, I like the Doraemon because the friendship like the Nobita and Doraemon have, and also the innovative things they show in the Doraemon show. I like the most. Like I have learned many things from the Doraemon, like about the science and also about the plants. Not only regarding the friendship, but also these things about the science or any technology. Everything I have learned from them, so I like the Doraemon the most. And about the Shinshan, like I like the mischievous things he does every time, and his cuteness I like the most in the Shinshan. So the my favorite characters are both Shinshan and Doraemon. Thank you. Over to you, Myrish.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pawni. And I think that's the end for us. That's the end of time for us. So I'd like to hand over the control back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster NC. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayuresh. That was indeed a very interactive session, and we all went into our old days when we were watching cartoons and how we enjoyed it. Okay, so before moving ahead, let us. Yes, so anybody guess the cartoon? I think it's easy one. Anybody?
Johnny Bravo.
Yes, that's correct. He's Johnny Bravo, and I think you can see from his all muscles that he is very brave in nature. He has quite a few abs also. Okay, now let us move towards जंगल जंगल बात चली है पता चला है. So we have somebody who loves Mowgli, the Jungle Book, and I have given him the name Totyogli because I didn't have any other name, and I think this sounds better than Mowgli. So we have our general evaluator for today, who is going to conduct the further session, who will be taking the evaluation session and the report from the tag team. So I would like to call upon Toastmaster Tatya Sahib to please come forward and conduct the evaluation session.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest. So we will be conducting the evaluation session. So first, we will start with the speech evaluation. So first, I'll call Toastmaster Jay on the virtual stage to provide his feedback to the speaker.
I hope I'm audible and visible to you this time. Thank you. Once again, very warm good afternoon to all of you, and special good afternoon to our best speaker, Toastmaster Ashutosh. Toastmaster Ashutosh, you have taken us with your journey, how you have started, what were the struggles, how you overcome on all this. What are the learnings which you had? A great work. Now, three things which I really liked about you. First things, you have admitted your mistakes. Yes, everyone make the mistake, but very few have the courage to accept it. You made a splash on it. Amazing job. Second thing which I like, you have also told us what are the learnings you had, like how to pause or the persuasion, how to be more creative, how the ideas, the importance of ideas to resonate with other is important, how we have to observe before speaking what the other member is expecting. Great one. So these three things I really like. Now, my point is how you could improve this speech. First is in reflect on your path. We are expecting what have you learned during your level 1? What have you learned level 2? What have you learned 3, 4 and 5? You could add those learnings in a levels. Example 11.1. I learned how to structure my content according to the audience by giving an example of any speech. Level 3. What was the specialty? Like describe your speech in specific words or storytelling or anything which you have used. You could take the name from that one and then say, yes, I learned this thing. Now same for the level 4 and 5. How you are taking benefit out of this in your social or in your official life, even in your personal life, that you could say. You took almost 5 minutes to set the context that you could change. You could start your speech within 2 minutes. That could be a better one. Then you can add more and more examples in this one. So let me repeat your pain points, your learning, your ideas, the importance of that learning you have shared. Amazing one. Just to work on the structure a little more. You could start in the early minutes. That could help. And second, the objective, you could be more precise. That's all. Implement it. Your amazing speech. Splash to all of us and back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jay. Now we will ask a report from each role player. So to start with, first I will ask Toastmaster Devai to present her grammarian report.
Toastmaster Devi, we are not able to hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters. I am back with my grammar language evaluation report. Please allow me to share my screen. Yes, I can share my screen. First of all, I will start with the use of word of the day and phrase of the day. There are plenty of Toastmasters use the word of the day and phrase of the day. The team Toastmaster Insiya, Toastmaster Ashutosh, Toastmaster Ilios, Toastmaster Venkatesh, and Toastmaster guest Pavani use the word of the day caricature or in the similar forms like cartoons. And the phrase of the day, make a splash, used by the Toastmaster Nitin, Toastmaster Insiya. Let's have a big round of applause for that. Then let's go with the outstanding usage of words. Today's meeting, there are plenty good use of the English language. The word used camaraderie. It means a spirit of friendship and community between two people or a group of people. And it is used by our president, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar. The word someone used cognitive. It means relating to being or involving conscious intellectual activity. The word Oswald used someone used, and it means a divine power. Someone used the word long talk. It means a very talkative or voluble. There were plenty of good phrases used during the today's meeting. Walk of life. It means a person's occupation or position within the society. Practice makes man perfect. It means to succeed in a life in a particular field or subject, one need to practice regularly with full commitment and planned strategies. The phrase someone used against all odds. It happens or succeeds, although it seems impossible to be happen or very unlikely. There were a lot of good usage during today's meeting. And that's it from my side. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator Tata sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devai. Now we will ask Toastmaster Nitin to come on virtual stage and present his report card. Over to you, Toastmaster Nitin.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Let me share my screen. I hope you are able to see my screen. So first of all, let me begin with the good news that today we have one flawless speaker, and that is Sergeant at Arms Nilesh. So big round of applause for Toastmaster Nilesh for this wonderful speech. And now, post that, let me start with the today's speaker, Toastmaster Ashutosh. So he has used once and, 3 times so, 3 times speech evaluator Toastmaster Jay has used once so. Before I move on to the table topic speaker role, let me go and evaluate, share my evaluation regarding the role players. So Toastmaster of the day, Insiya has used 4 times, once. President has used once. Timer, Toastmaster Namrata. So she's also one of the police speaker, I can say. So big round of applause. Sorry for I missed out. Grammarian, Toastmaster Devai has used and once, twice. Table topic coordinator Toastmaster Mayuresh has used and once and so as once and 4 times. General evaluator Toastmaster Tate Sahib has used so and once. So, and let me now come back to the table topic speakers. Toastmaster Ilyas has used once, which is really a good thing. Toastmaster Nilesh has used 4 times and thrice. Toastmaster Ashutosh has used and once, but 4 times. Toastmaster Suchita has used once, which is really good. Toastmaster Mayuresh has also used that only once. That's great. Toastmaster Venkat has also done a good job by using only once. Toastmaster Pavani has used and like once. So that's it from my side. Over to you, General Orator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin. That was a very detailed report. Thank you for that. So now I will start my general evaluation report of the overall meeting. So we'll start with Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Nilesh. You have described mission statement of the club and the Toastmasters. You have explained all the rules of the meeting. You have introduced the next player. Only one suggestion for you is the energy level could have been better. So you can, while playing role next time, you can increase your energy level a bit. Next role player is grammarian Toastmaster Devai. So you have explained word of the day, phrase of the day, and then you explain some examples also. Only one suggestion for you. You could have asked audience to try some usage of these phrase of the day and word of the day, so that you can try next time. Our counter Toastmaster Nitin, you have explained your role very good. You included one example, your real life example in your explanation, and you have presented a very detailed report. So no recommendation for you. Next role player is Toastmaster Namrata. You have explained your role very good. Only one suggestion for you is you could have showed the virtual background and you could have explained the color colors, each color, how you would be presenting those colors. Only one suggestion for you. Presiding officer, Toastmaster Chandrashekhar, you have introduced guest or asked the guest to be introduced. You have asked each the role players to add the prefix, and you gave your presiding address. You gave message very clearly that cartoons explains friendship, leadership, camaraderie, and then you finally introduced Toastmaster of the day. So no recommendation for you. Next role player is Toastmaster TTM, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Mayuresh. You explain your role very nicely. You have selected topics very easy and anyone can speak. And we have seen, we have learned a lot from these topics. And these topics are congruent with the theme which was chosen by Toastmaster Day. Only one suggestion for you, while explaining your role, you could have explained the timing sequence, like how much time each speaker would be speaking. So I think that you can include in your next role playing. Next role player is evaluator Toastmaster Jay. You have started the feedback and you included the CRC approach. You explain to the speaker with example how the speech can be written, what could be included. It was a very helpful for for other Toastmasters also in their future when they complete their path, what to include and how it could be done. So no recommendation for you for your evaluation. Now finally, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Insiya, when you selected this theme, I was very excited what it would be. And theme was excellent. And you did very good preparation with, present the PPT and all, it takes time. You explained theme very well. And it was a very interactive session. When, you asked me yesterday that what is your favorite character? I know all these new generation caricatures, I would say. But when I was kid, at that time, there was only Doordarshan. Most, 90% of India would have Doordarshan only. And there were 3-4 characters only, like Tom and Jerry and Mowgli. And I would say most of the generations here might not know Jungle Book, that Jungle Baat Chaliye. We have seen that every Sunday. We will wait when that Sunday will come and we watch that Jungle Book. But it was a very nice session. Thank you for selecting this scheme, and no suggestion for you, no recommendation for you. Okay, with this, I'll hand it over back to Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Datya Sahib, for that wonderful evaluation. I am sure that all the feedback that you have given is going to be helpful, and all the Toastmasters are going to incorporate that. Now, I would like to first do the voting. Before going for the voting, we'll not have voting for the best speaker and best evaluator because we only had one. But I would just like to know from the timer if all the table topic speakers are qualified for the voting. Toastmaster Namrata, I cannot hear you. Toastmaster Namrata, we cannot hear you. Can you, if possible, put it in the chat that if all the table topic speakers are qualified? Okay, so all are qualified. So can we launch the poll for the table topic speakers, the role players and auxiliary role players? Zoom master?
Yes, launching the poll for best table topic speaker.
Yes. Okay, now for the best auxiliary role player and best role player.
Okay.
Toastmaster Mayuresh, let me know if you've gotten enough votes.
Yes, sure, Toastmasters. Yeah, just give me a minute. Yes, we have all the votes. I am closing the poll.
Done?
Yes, we are done.
Okay, so now let me move forward. We've come to the end of today's meeting, but trivia. Anybody? I think this is a very easy one. This is the life of my friendship. I am the motto, and one of my friend is the patlu one. But yeah, okay. Now this one. And this is, I think, a little easy.
Okay, Sankoni. Insiya, my daughter would like to guess which one is it. Huh?
Yes.
SpongeBob, है ना?
SpongeBob. Yes, that's correct. She's right. Okay, so now I think I'll just want to have a quick raise of hands of people who still watch cartoons and don't care about it. If I can have videos on and if people can just raise hands, because I can see a lot of hands that are being raised. I am also one of them. I watch cartoons still. People mock me for that. So there are people who tell me you are in your 20s and say you still watch cartoons. But I just say that I don't care how old I am. I think cartoons give me sometimes if you see, cartoons are more relatable and more reliable than human beings. So I think that is the reason that I watch cartoons and I enjoy watching them. Now it's time to give the control to somebody. Okay, so I had a caricature for him also. The Chandraman of our club, inspired from Doraemon. So the way Doraemon has all the gadgets for helping people, I think Toastmaster Chandrashekhar is one of the person who has always time for playing roles in different clubs. So I think whenever somebody comes and asks him for any role to be played in the role in the club, he never says no. So I would call him Chandraman, and that is why now I would like to hand it to the president for the moment of glory.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, for this amazing meeting and this amazing theme that we had. I hope everybody enjoyed today's meeting. Now, I would like to know from the guest how did they feel about today's meeting and if any further feedback they would like to provide. So let us start with guest Ilios first. Over to you, Toastmaster Ilios.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. This is great topic, great theme. I love cartoon. To be exact, it is anime cartoon from Japan, and I wish I can watch Cartoon Network cartoon from USA, but that time I didn't really know about English, and it is not really well received here in Indonesia. And Sunday is like a holiday for me, literally holy, not holiday as you can enjoy your spare time, because I worship cartoon. Like I watch all the cartoon from the early morning, and the only reason that I woke up for the day is to watch cartoon, and then until around afternoon, then I go sleep again after that. When I was a young child or younger than now. Now I'm in the mm, starting of 30s, but I still watch cartoon. I'm proud of it because cartoon definitely entertainment for me. And yes, like what I said, Detective Conan is one of my favorite cartoon. I have a lot, but I can only mention this because this is the most beneficial cartoon. If they mocking me, then they should watch Detective Conan and they should solve the problems. Who is the killer or something else, and prove that you are worth it. And yeah, that's my impression about this meeting. Very well organized of the team itself. How you caricatured the pro takers, and also word of the day and the phrase of the day have to make a splash, so people will try to use it again after this meeting ends. So back to you, Chandra.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Elias. Do we have any more guests? I don't see any other guest in the meeting. So thank you so much, all the guests, for attending the meeting. I would like to share one small story. So when I was like 10 or 12 years old, this is early 2000, and I used to live in a rented house. So we had one amazing house taker, and I used to go and watch cartoons at his place. Now that man was in his early 40s, and he used to watch cartoon, and I used to think, wow, I haven't seen anyone who watches cartoon at the age of 40. And he used to watch two cartoons. One was like SpongeBob SquarePants, then Oswald. I think Augie and the Cockroaches were not there at that time. Even Doraemon was there, so I really used to feel nice. But then I thought, like, why don't people watch cartoon anymore? Like those who are older. Now when I am in my late 30s, I guess now, and I still watch cartoons, so I'm becoming more like him. Maybe kids would like me, I guess so. If not, I don't know what else I have to do. So thank you so much for being here over today. Now it's time for the moment of glory, as we had only three votings for today. That is the best table topic speaker, best role player, and the best auxiliary role player. So I would request Toastmaster Tulsi to start sharing the screen. Yes. So the best table topic speaker award goes to Toastmaster Suchita. Can we spotlight Toastmaster Suchita? Toastmaster Suchita, can you please turn on your video if possible? I think Toastmaster Suchita is not able to turn on her video as of now. Are you there, Toastmaster Suchita? Okay, no worries. We will share the certificate via personal chat as well. Now I would like to go ahead with the next. That is the best, okay, auxiliary role player. That goes to Toastmaster Devai, the grammarian for today's meeting. I would request Zoom Master to spotlight Toastmaster Devi and take a picture. And let me know once done. No worries, Toastmaster.
Done.
Thank you so much. And last but not the least, please move ahead, Toastmaster Tulsi. The best role player award goes to our energetic host of today's meeting, Toastmaster Insiya. Zoom
capture.
Master, thank you so much. Now with that, I declare this meeting as adjourned, and now we are open for philo chit chat. I would request Zoom Master to stop the recording.